It's the Jacksonville Buzz. Amy West, Grant Smith, Adrian Houghton. From Studio 2 at Buzz TV, this is the Jacksonville Buzz.
Welcome back to the Jacksonville Buzz. We've got a great show for you today. I'm talking aromatherapy with Jessica Lutka from Behale Organic Essential Oils.
And speaking of stress and how to get rid of it, I have Stephanie Bell from Biofeedback Jax.
And I'm speaking with Elena Olander, who has a solo exhibition at Space 42. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the Jacksonville Buzz. My guest today has taken aromatherapy to the next level. Her product? Essential oils, 100% natural and organic, and her focus? Traceability, sustainability, affordability, and quality. Please welcome owner of Behale Organic Essential Oils, Jessica Lutka. How are you?
Hi, thank you for having me.
Welcome to the studio. Well, I know we've been dying to get you in here because you've got the studio smelling so nice. So give us a little background on your background, how you got started and how you started this business.
So my family has been in the essential industry for over 35 years. So I've been involved pretty much my whole life. And then when I grew up and left school, I joined the industry. And I've had the privilege to analyze essential oils and travel to many farms all over South Africa and Africa for the last 15 years and basically dig deep into essential oil farming, analysis, and then to use it and to sell it.
Wow, now you mentioned analysis. What goes into that?
So we are oil expert analysts, and we analyze the oil on all different levels. We analyze the essential oils and we analyze the fatty oils or the carrier oils. There's various different tests you can do to prove its stability, to prove its purity, to prove all different levels to ensure it's the right species and the right crop quantity that you've got. We do all this analysis in-house.
Wow, and is that in the laboratory?
Yes.
Wow, okay, so you're a little bit of a scientist too, huh?
Sometimes.
I love it. So talk to us a little bit about the traceability of the product.
So this is what's important to us. We believe that we can start at grassroots level. Many times we have to help the farmer source the crop.
Okay.
We then help them grow it. We help them with weeding, harvesting, right time to harvest the crop, which is very important. And then we bring the oil into our warehouse. We do full analysis to ensure that it's been harvested at the right time and it's the right quality. And this is important to us to get to know the farmers, make sure that they are growing it organically and that they are sticking to organic standards.
Wow, and these are the things that differentiate you from all the others, which makes your product so unique.
Yes, we enjoy going straight to grassroots levels and making sure we have sustainability.
And I'm going to assume that your time and experience on these farms and knowing the farming process, then you know what farms to work with and not to work with.
Exactly. It's been a long process. We've worked with government projects. We've worked all throughout Africa, and we are very familiar with the farming platforms within Africa.
So talk to us a little bit about the sustainability of the product.
This is most important because we deal with rural communities and often upstart communities. We find that ensuring that they know how to farm and how to do it profitability to ensure that they can do it the next year is very important, so that they do not give up after one season, but so they can move forward into the next season, which also means we have to get the right quality crop to get the right price for the crop so we can carry on the following year.
Wow, so where are these farms located?
All over Southern Africa and also into Northern Africa, and also we get a lot of our oil from Madagascar.
Really? So say like the lavender, where is the lavender coming from?
Lavender is best grown in Europe. We have done many trial crops through the bottom end of South Africa near Cape Town, and those crops are beginning to form into sustainable platforms, but we are years behind Europe, and we take all our lessons from Europe and we try to implement those projects in South Africa.
Amazing. So I stopped by the warehouse 3 weeks ago, and I spoke to your team and I purchased some of the lavender, and it is amazing.
It is
So,
beautiful.
and speak to the affordability of the product, Jessica.
So this was another reason why we started Behale in small packs, is because we felt that we had a unique advantage whereby, because we're dealing directly with the farm and we bring it straight to our warehouse and there's no middleman and we're not traders, we're able to offer these organic 100% natural products at an affordable price.
I love it. So how can people get a hold of you or find out more about the product?
So we're quite active on Instagram, and you can also go to our website where we've got loads of photos and crop videos about how we harvest and how we weed our crops, and that's behaleorganics.com, or Instagram will be Behale Organics.
That's great. Well, thank you so much for coming in, and I can't wait to take some of this home and give some more smells, some aromatherapy a try.
Thank you.
We'll be right back on the Jacksonville Buzz.
Welcome back. Americans are more stressed than ever before, and my next guest has the ultimate solution. I'm joined in the studio by Stephanie Bell from Biofeedback Jax. Stephanie, thank you for joining me.
Good morning, Amy.
And
it's so good to be here.
Well, it's truly a treat. So tell me, biofeedback, it's quite popular in other areas, but I think it's pretty new to Jacksonville. So for people who've never heard of biofeedback before, can you give us a brief explanation as to what that is?
It's sort of new to Jacksonville. What I do is a little bit newer to Jacksonville. The science of quantum electrophysiological biofeedback is absolutely amazing. It's a wonderful alternative to health and wellness. And what I do is I use quantum biofeedback to balance the body electric. We're using frequencies to retrain the muscles of the body, to relieve the stressors in the body that cause sickness and disease, so that the body can naturally heal itself.
Wow, it sounds like a really awesome alternative to maybe more medical type of fixes to some of the problems that people have. Who is your ideal candidate for this?
Oh gosh, a lot of people are ideal candidates. Most people are ideal candidates. My youngest client is 2 years old. My oldest client is 91 years old.
Wow.
So people that, things such as sensitivities to food, allergies, all the way up to trauma and injury through automobile accidents. I've had some military personnel that have PTSD, shooting victims, family of shooting victims, things such as that, or people that just have cancer.
Yeah.
A lot of different things going on in the body that causes stress, and it can be good stress as well.
Well, that's true, because we're all busy, right? So some of that stress is good stress, but it definitely takes its toll on our body. I've heard it said that stress is like one of the #1 killers out there. So
It's a silent killer.
I do agree with what you say. I think everyone can benefit from this. And you yourself, you have 20 years in the spa and wellness industry. How did you come into biofeedback? How did you find it?
2 of my very dear friends were diagnosed with cancer. One had an inoperable brain tumor, and one was diagnosed with breast cancer. They elected to go the natural way as opposed to an allopathic type way, and they had great success. So when I saw that success and the measurement from being diagnosed to being healthy again, I knew I had to do it.
Seeing was believing in this case.
Absolutely.
And it does sound like there's a lot of science that goes into it, but also a lot of personal gratification doing something that helps people like this. Do you have any specific success stories that you can talk about?
And I tell my clients, I never know what's going to happen to them until they give me the feedback on that, literally the feedback on that. And probably one of my most successful stories that brings me great joy is a 14-year-old who had sustained an injury, a gymnastic injury, and she hurt her neck. And over the course of 6 months, she saw several doctors and different medications, and she was nauseous every single morning. She couldn't focus at school. She had many issues that came up from this injury. After one biofeedback session, she came skipping down the stairs the next morning singing, had breakfast, which she usually couldn't do because she was nauseous, and her parents were both blowing up my phone, both of them texting, "We have our daughter back, we have our daughter back." So that brings me great joy. And then I've had some, like I said, military personnel that have told me that it's just brought them down from being at that high pace of just being like sympathetic on all the time because of the defense training and everything that they've had.
Sounds like it's a great solution for a lot of people who maybe have tried everything. You know, this is maybe something that they can try that actually will work for them.
Absolutely.
I'm sure you get a lot of success stories from that too.
Yeah,
So
it can't hurt anyone. Biofeedback is
Right.
It's very healthy.
So it's worth
Cannot
trying
hurt
if you've
you.
tried everything, because I mean, what can it hurt? You know, at the
Absolutely.
very least, you know, try it and see if it works for you. So do you have any specials or anything going on right now that people can take advantage of?
Do for people that are watching The Buzz, 30% off of your first session.
Great. And if they're trying to find you to make an appointment, how would they find you?
If you're trying to find me to make an appointment, it's Biofeedback Jax, but we're going to flip the script. It's Biofeedback. It's jaxbiofeedback.com to find us on the web.
jaxbiofeedback.com.
Yes.
All right. Well, Stephanie, thank you for joining us. I can't wait to try myself.
you.
It sounds like what you do is just really beneficial to a lot of people, and I'm sure a lot of them will be so happy to find you. So thanks for joining us, and we'll be right back.
I'm joined today by an artist, a painter, an illustrator, and she has a solo exhibition at Space 42. Welcome, Elena Olander.
Thank you for having me, Adrian.
Oh, it's an absolute pleasure. Before we get into your current exhibition, tell me a little bit more about yourself and how you managed to be here in Jacksonville and your background.
Okay, well, I moved to Jacksonville in 1998. I had to think about it. So it's been a while. I consider myself a Jacksonville native. I grew up here, but I was born in Minnesota. My mom is from Norway, and I think after many years up there, she decided she was sick of the cold and wanted to move to Florida. And so we ended up here. As far as my art background, I always made art as a kid growing up, and I kind of fell away from it for a little while after I had my daughter, and about maybe 1.5 years ago I decided to make the shift from working odd jobs to doing art full-time.
That's probably a very smart move for all the general public, because you've exposed us to some fabulous pieces. What I find strange is that you actually got your bachelor's in fine art in photography.
Yeah.
And yet the medium you're using at the moment is not photography.
That's right.
So how did that come about?
Let's see. In 2008, I took a trip to Japan, and I fell in love with photography in the photojournalistic sense. And after I had my daughter, I said, I want to get a degree in something, let it be involved in the arts. And I chose photography. And I worked in kind of conceptual self-portraiture, mostly. So I suppose that parallel exists in my painting and illustration, as majority of my figures are kind of like a characterization of my own likeness.
Yes,
So-
I can see that. I can see that. So your current exhibition, Endless Dream, that is based on something that you feel as though you're a continuous dreamer, or how does that fit into all those wonderful pieces?
Let's see. I mean, overall, the body of work I'm currently working on has a Japanese context to everything. Maybe it is an infatuation, I suppose, but also my daughter is half Japanese. So through my work, I like to teach her about a culture that she's removed from. And as far as Endless Dream, this infatuation kind of consumes my everyday life and manifests in my dreamscapes. So it's not so much an interpretation as it is an attempt at literally translating those dreams onto the canvas.
So some of those pieces are actually pretty odd. You have one or two really odd pieces with sort of pieces of head removed and things like that.
Yeah. I mean, I think...
And this is part of your dreams.
Yeah, and I think that's what's so fascinating. You know, you don't necessarily have control over what we dream outside of maybe lucid dreaming. But Yeah, I like to share that kind of imagination and what's going on in an artist's mind, I suppose. I don't know how anybody else's dreams are, but
I mean, I have to say, it's a spectacular exhibition. When I saw it, I was just overwhelmed by the beauty and how wonderful. And there's a lot of pieces as well. Yeah. So I would encourage a lot of people to go and see it. If people want to get hold of you, or find out more information about your exhibition and your work, how would they do that?
Well, they can contact space42.com. I have a website. It's www.elenaolander.com. And I have an Instagram that's kind of where I'm most social, which is Elena_Olander.
I can't say thank you enough. But I mean, the piece that we have here, I believe that you've just produced last night. How wonderful. I wish I had that artistic ability. Thank you for coming into the studio. It's a real pleasure to have you here. And if you need to see any more, I mean, please go along to Space 42 because the exhibition is stunning and I'm sure you would love it. And thank you to Elena Olander. We'll be right back after these messages.
Welcome back to the Jacksonville Buzz. We were sitting here discussing date nights. Our favorite date night, our fantasy date night, our ideal date night. Where do you want to start, guys?
Fantasy date night. I'll save that one for you.
Sounds like a board game.
Can I say my favorite weekend? It was just a date that went on forever.
Yes. Oh, that sounds exciting. Yes, please.
I think that qualifies.
Yeah, okay. Well, I was collected and we went off in a private aeroplane from London to Monaco.
Oh my gosh, okay.
Yeah, and had just the most idyllic weekend. And I have to say, I'm now married to the gentleman that did that. But it was, that was an absolute, there's nothing that can top that.
That's what
Absolutely
it took.
Nothing.
That's what it took to get a ring on your finger. I love it.
Now all the stuff I was going to say to compare is like, meh. I mean, that is okay. Well done to your husband.
Yes.
And he set the bar. So all of you guys at home, all you have to do, private airplane, start there.
Yeah, but Monaco had something to do with it as well. I mean, it was just beautiful.
Oh,
that's amazing.
Definitely on my dream list of destinations.
I can tell you, I don't think there's one particular date. But what I like to do is progressive dinners. Especially on travel, because when you travel, there's all these restaurants, especially if you're in a foodie destination, there's all these restaurants you want to go to, right?
Right.
So when you go to these restaurants, you've only got so many days.
That's true.
So a progressive dinner, you start at one place for a cocktail, go to the next place for an appetizer, the next place for dinner, you can hit 3 or 4 places, just make 3 or 4 reservations.
And that's
but don't use Open Table, because Open Table won't let you make 4 reservations within like a 3 hour. I've tried to do it.
Expert tip. That's
yes,
good to
expert
know.
tip.
They're on you.
So if you make a 7 o'clock reservation on Open Table, they're not going to let you make it. I think they block you out for 2.5 hours.
Funny.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you've got to actually do it the old school way and get on the phone and call the restaurant. So.
I think that's so fun, and it's great because I think a lot of people, when they've been dating or been married for a while, so I'm going on 14 years in November myself, so you get a little stagnant, right? You kind of get into your routine, and I'm telling on my husband a little bit, but he got kind of mad at me. We got into a little argument because I was like, we always do the same thing. We just go to the bar and we sit and we have drinks, and he got a little offended, but out of that, he did resentfully book some concert tickets, but now we're on this concert string. We've been going to all these different concerts, so it just kind of gets you out of your routine, out of your
You've been bitten by the bug.
Yeah, exactly. It's fun to kind of mix it up and to try different places. It's stimulating mentally, your taste buds. It provides a much more romantic atmosphere, so I think that's a great
Another
idea.
pro tip on the progressive dinners. So let's say you start at one place for a drink, the next place for appetizer, maybe invite a friend to meet you for dinner.
Yes.
So that really
so
changes
fun.
up. And maybe that couple or that friend that you don't know a whole lot about and you don't know how the night may go, So if you bring them just in for an hour,
Right.
you're not married to them for the
Exactly.
for the
That's
night.
true. It brings a
that's
little
a good idea.
spontaneity, or like meet them at the end, you know,
telling
and
you
then
what, yeah.
you're like, okay, we're tired, we're gonna go now.
It's the way to go.
We often do that. We'll do double dates. We'll, meet a friend, even if they don't have a date. Like, we don't care about third wheels. We just have fun because that different conversation and finding new perspectives is really interesting. So I had a really fun date that I went on. I like to try new experiences, so they don't always have to be luxurious or super romantic, but just an adventure, something fun. So I don't know if you guys knew this, but they actually do airboat rides in Jacksonville on the river.
Yep.
You can go on an airboat ride.
Out of the zoo, maybe?
No, they used to do them out of there.
Okay.
It's the Sea Serpent. So it's like a really cool kind of, wetlands tour. And he has a whole like program narration like you listen to on your headphones.
That's
It was a
cool.
really cool way of
that sounds like
experiencing
fun.
the city, but you weren't totally in the swamp. And it was a really fun date.
Cool.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I think they do them somewhere out off of Beach Marine too. There's another guy. We're gonna have to do some research on this.
Jacksonville is actually full of fun things to do on the water, so
Yeah.
we've got to be grateful. And I mean, we had a great show, and that was a great topic.
It was fun.
And all our guests were great, and they kind of went with that theme of just relaxation and we had
And
the
I can
art.
still smell all the oils in the air.
Oh yeah, that was amazing.
It was a fun show, and thank you for watching the Jacksonville Buzz.
I hope you enjoyed the show because I did. Aromatherapy is my new thing.
Yeah, I'm so much more relaxed just talking to Stephanie from Biofeedback Jax.
And I wish I'd had more time with Elena Olander. Fantastic show. Thanks for joining us on the Jacksonville Buzz.